This story is my real personal experience. If you doubt it, consider it a fictional story. I am a mother of 2 and I am 29 years old. I have a loving husband and obedient children. We are a happy family. During my son's vacation, we chose to travel. Our whole family had a good time. My son's new school year is about to start. After returning from a vacation in Hawaii, I felt a little sick. I started to have a sore throat and a high fever, then the doctor came to see me. I was taken to the hospital. I became weaker, had difficulty speaking, and lost my appetite. Finally, one day, I asked the nurse, "I need to talk to my family, I might get out of here." She replied, "We don't want to hear that here," and she walked out. I thought to myself, if I get out of this bed, I'll listen. The doctor comes twice a day. But one morning, things were different. I have an unbelievable sadness. At this point I can only move my head. Suddenly, a stranger's voice came to my ear, and he asked me to concentrate on his words. He was telling a story, and at first I listened intently, but it sounded too strenuous. I can hear his voice, but not very clearly. Like a radio with a bad signal. Suddenly my body became very relaxed. The body is light enough to float in the air. I opened my eyes again, looked down at the woman lying on the bed, and thought, I have a nightgown just like her. I stayed there and continued to observe. I saw doctors and nurses. The doctor leaned against the bed rail and cried. Then I figured it out. It's not good if I'm here and she's there. I also realized that my grief was gone. I wanted to tell him it was okay, but I walked out of the room quickly, and then I was in the hospital hallway, and I found the phone booth on the wall of the hallway. My husband is on the phone with my best friend. He told her what happened. I'll be in her office when she responds. When my husband talks, I go back to the phone booth again. It was like traveling through time, and it went on for a while. And then I came to a large theater, which was very beautiful, with stages and velvet curtains on both sides. No one else was present. I sit in the middle of the front row. I don't know how I did it or why. I waited, and then one of my earliest childhood friends showed up on stage. She looked at me and let me know she liked the games we played and our laughter. Then it was my turn to tell her that I had been happy, but I was sad when they moved away. We've been there the whole time, and it's been a lot slower in this part. I don't know who will come out next. But each time ended in giving and receiving love. Later, an older boy came out. He is the car squad leader. He expressed to me that I had brought shame upon him. I remember him. He used to bully my brother a lot. So one day, I picked up his school bag and hid it next to the bus stop. All the children were playing. When the bus stopped, the children lined up to get on the bus. When it was his turn, he couldn't find his bag. "It's not funny," he told the kids. I whispered to the others where his bag was hidden, and they told him. Before long, he was walking towards the bus stop, and the children were laughing at him. I had to go inside him and watch the kids stick their heads out of the windows, feeling the same humiliation as he did. He had to come into my room and learn about my experience. I told him I sincerely apologize. He gave me a kind heart. When this exchange is over, we all feel understood and loved. Suddenly, I was in a tunnel, moving quickly towards a bright light, and I said to myself, "Oh, I'm going home today." I reached the light, and there was a definite edge, and it was clear that this was where I wanted to stop. What I saw next, I don't know how to describe it better. There was no face and no body, only faint beams of light moving, making up a larger light. They let me know that my ancestors welcomed me here today, stopped by my grandmother. I immediately said, "Oh, my grandma." And they immediately said, "No, not that, you've never seen this." At that moment, I knew they knew everything. "You're only here for a while, you can't be here. You're helping other kids get their PhDs. Wow, you must be confusing me with someone else. School is a struggle for me." And then I heard the responses, and I knew at the time that they had answers. I want to ask questions. I'm in a situation where my only question is, why can't I stay? Do you remember my body no longer working? I know I was there for a while, but I just remember them talking about race, religion and country, and they showed me a big room, full of people with big cylinders hanging from the table. There won't be any surgery, light will heal their organs. Suddenly, I knew I had to go. How do I get back? I asked. They told me, go right. And I went back to the hospital bed. I still couldn't move my limbs, but I could hear. I tried to open my eyelids, or twist my toes. Suddenly, I felt a cold hand on my neck. I had a pulse. My body started to recover. I was in the hospital for a month. Back home later, I talked to the doctor about my experience and could see it. He didn't really believe what I said. I didn't tell anyone about this experience later. I believed in what I saw and how I felt in my body, just like you who listened to the story. If you believe in God, then God exists.